Welcome back, and still in the and later on will be around one of the most important museums in the world, which these museums aim at taking grasp of diversity of Egypt's heritage of monuments and arts needed to be shown in one place and location to maintain and preserve the huge legacy. With its unique position on the cusp between the past and the present, the Grand Egyptian Museum will lie at the repository for ancient artifacts that creates an interactive experience for the visitor. It will build a bridge between the past and the present also, and the future, and to know more about this place and its most important artifacts and monuments, we are joined by Mrs. Mostafa, a database director. Hello and welcome.
Hi, welcome.
Well, good afternoon. First of all, would you tell us more about your database department?
Okay. Our database, the Grand Egyptian Museum database, is divided to 4 sections. The identification section, which included all the archaeological data for each artifact, starting from its piece name, the dating, provenance, description, small description, and the object title and object label, which will write in the future in the caption, which will be beside the artifact in the display. This is an example for the archaeological data, and also there is a physical section, included the material of the artifact, measurement, and also the section for the exhibition data, where this artifact will be displayed, the condition of the artifact, how we will display it. This data is supported by the exhibition section in the Grand Egyptian Museum. We will find also beside this data the numbers of the artifacts. Here in the Grand Egyptian Museum there is a unique number for each artifact. We will not using the numbers, the history number for this artifact. We already make a new sequence for this artifact for each one, so it will be unique. You will come to here, you will find it's a different number from them. We use this number in the transportation, in the display artifact. All of the number is the key of the artifact. Okay. We will can find also the registration book, because you are speaking about the registration. I'm here the documentation unit, so I'm using the registration. So I attach the register book, more than 2 or 3 pages attached with each artifact. You can find an example. I can say to you the Tutankhamun collection. Tutankhamun collection now selected to be displayed in the Grand Egyptian Museum. So you will come find a new documentation different from the discovery when it was discovered. You will find that it was 4,443 artifacts. But now, after the new documentation, which happened in the Grand Egyptian Museum and the study case of it, we will find that there is not 4,000, it's 5,440. So this means there is a new 1,000 artifact. It's we will have a new documentary, especially for the Grand Egyptian Museum. You will find you will can find also the material and its categories. It's not only I cannot see that it's only wood. No, it's wood and organic or not organic. Also the measurement. We have all this artifact. We have a weight for the artifact. The weight is very important because to support the artifact itself in the transportation.
Regarding the pieces that is going to be on display, how many pieces that this museum is going to host?
How many pieces for display? Till now we will reach the 5,100 artifacts. 5,000? Yes, 5,000. So it will be for display, but it's already going to more than this, because you know 100 artifacts will be on the database, more it will be displayed and other will be stored for study this subject. But for display, we are trying to reach more than 5,000.
50,000 or 5,000?
50,000.
Yeah.
50,000.
Yeah. Now,
5,000.
Now you told me that you've done a database for 105,000 pieces. Now, these all will be here within the vicinity of the museum?
Inshallah. Now we already transport more than almost 38,500 in GMCC. Our unit is supporting this transportation by all data, by the numbers, the provenance, the dating of it, so it will be facilitate in the transportation operation.
Most of the museums during the 25th revolution were victim for thefts. How the database information can protect the monument from being
there is some speciality happening in the Grand Egyptian Museum database. It's something unique because we have a tracking for the artifact. I have now I have the current location for the artifact, but I have the history coming from where, and the tracking of itself inside the museum, the movement from laboratory to storage, or from storage to laboratory, or from to the veteran, all this movement is recorded in the database. Each artifact you will find where it's now exactly, in which shelf, in which rows. Anyway, this is for, it will be some hidden because it's, I cannot say because it will be on a website. As a normal one, you cannot see this data, but for the stuff itself, for the artifact, for the stuff of the gem itself, you will know where exactly this artifact, if it will be now going to treatment in the laboratory, and when it will be back. And so this movement we try to tracking it every day. And we have soft copy and hard copy for this to limit it
Now, you mentioned that actually you'll be having like an inner online database system, but what will be shown to the public? You will be, like some of the museums, you'll find that there is an online database offered on the internet where you can look at the catalog online. Will you be doing that as well?
For the online, for sure, we will not have a specific things for the artifact, like the location or something like that. But you will find for sure the archaeological data. For the artifact, you will find the photo of the artifact, the register, like I'm saying, that the register will be attached for the database. If you wanted to know the real thing coming from this documentation. Also, you will find any links you will like Carter in the Tutankhamun Carter website. You will find this link attached for this database. So it will be basically archaeological and for sure conservator. There is a conservation section. It will be united in the website online database.
When talking to you and to your colleagues about this museum, you are full of enthusiasm. What's unique about this place that makes you have a great hope?
For myself, I'm working here from 2005, so it's now 11 years from here. I'm working with JICA for 4 years, training. I'm training for how I can deal with the artifact as a manager or in management skills, and also in the workshop for photographing and for measurement. So I'm dealing with this project that this is my aim. This is my dream to finish all in the due time. So I see that this place of the artifact, it will be amazing for if you wanted to have a new face, touristic, it will be here for Egypt. I think that's my view.
Now, some of these monuments have come not only from the Egyptian Museum of Antiquities in Tahrir, but from remote areas. Now, how do you do they come with the registry, or do you do a new registration? How do you work on the pieces which are coming from other provinces?
You will find on the database also, I said to you that it's 4 sections. Yeah. The last section is a process for the artifact. If now I will take artifacts from, example, Egyptian Museum, I should check its register book. I should check all the data of it and photograph this register book to come with me as an attachment for the artifact. And when it comes to here after transportation, it's gone to the storage. In this time, I was starting to make allocation for it, to have the location of the artifact inside the storage, to put it in the database, and take another photo after the numbering, because we have, I said to you that I have a unique number here, so it will be numbered on the artifact itself. So I should photograph the artifact again after this numbering to attach to the database. And our colleague, the Egyptology here, started to register this artifact in the register books, to have our own register book with our data, own data.
Okay, whenever you talk about the pharaohs, especially for the foreigners, they go crazy. As an Egyptologist, what is the most weird story that you can tell us that you heard about the pharaohs?
I said to you that the most famous temple here, you will be amazing for Tutankhamun, because Tutankhamun collection has many secrets. And you know, now this collection is displayed as not all the collection in the Egyptian museum. You will find only the mask, the coffin, something like this.
Yeah.
But here, you will see the collection, whole collection. It will be displayed as its discovery. So you will see how they thinking. So this kind of secrets, you will be amazing when you will find, because you will see the whole tomb in front of you. So we will transport all the artifacts, because some of this artifact in the Luxor Museum and some another in the Textile Museum. We will collect all of this artifact to display in one place. So this the kind of, you will see that how it will be, this collection, whole collection will be displayed with one place. So I think this will be for you, as a tourist, will be very, very good thing to see this whole collection in one time.
I think it's quite interesting, this museum, because the Egyptian Museum of Antiquities is mainly dedicated to ancient Egypt, with a small section about the late period and the Greco-Roman period. But here, this one will be a vast collection, and I understand that it will be covering even some Greco-Roman artifacts and a bit of Islamic monuments. Is that true?
No,
or just ancient Egyptian?
Ancient Egyptian, because you know there is already Islamic museum, so it have its own artifact. But here we started from the prehistory, dating till the Greek-Roman. All of this period with us, the ancient Egyptian pharaohs for this. During the Old Kingdom, Middle Kingdom, New Kingdom, all of this, all artifacts, all these periods with us, but not Islamic, not Coptic. At least when we have some artifacts coming by, we know that the registration, not all of it have a full dating. So sometimes another artifact come and we find after research that it's Coptic. So we have not this dating in our museum. So in this time we will get it out from.
Okay. We used to hear every now and then that some monuments traveling to be displayed in international museum. And some experts say that this, of course, benefit, it's a kind of propaganda for Egypt and the monuments, but at the same time it harms the monuments itself, because it travels for a long time. So is this true?
Not true with a very big case, because you know the packing itself of this artifact, we have a good stuff of packing. So you will find that we already kept the artifact in an atmosphere that we are secured it from the beginning of the day of the journey to the last day. So I think it's not true, because it is already. You know, after the revolution, the tourism now is affected very much. So it's now, if we will get out with the big security of this artifact upward, yes, they let them see that this our artifact, and we can go to you with a big security, and this artifact it's 100% secure, 100% secured. So why not? It will be for us as advertising, and it will get money, and we will secure this artifact coming and back. So no, it's not true.
Now, was there a certain artifact which was hard to catalog, where it was hard to retrieve its information, or sometimes you find the word unknown provenance on it? Tell us more about the challenges and the adventures in cataloging.
This is faced for me the last week, that I have 85 artifacts without dating and without unknown provenance. So how I can be, because you know the museum now is divided to galleries according to the dating, starting from Old Kingdom, like I said to you, to the Greek Roman. So these pieces I have in the dating, so where I will put it, I know that I'm an archaeologist, but I need a specific committee to say that this is okay, this will be late. And so in this time we collect all of these artifacts and export it from the database, and going to the committee, going to the committee responsible about these things to see that this artifact will be going to the old or it will be new. And if I'm as an Egyptology, see that this is okay, will be Greek Roman, so in this time I take my decision.
Regarding the Tutankhamun's pieces,
I love it.
We heard that some of the pieces that are displayed in the Egyptian Museum are replica. It was changed with replica.
No,
Is this true?
No. There's no replica. Sometimes we will make a replica for another gallery. So this gallery is called for replica. So this.
No, I mean it was stolen. The real pieces were stolen.
No, because we have a committee for each artifact will come in during the transportation, during the survey, because we already photograph all of this artifact, photograph all of its poses, and we have one of the conservators. It will be was with the committee in this time. So it's good. It may be stolen, but to be a replica, no, it's not happened.
Now, returning back to the pieces, the challenging pieces, you told us right now that actually you have the authority to choose where to put it, but you'd rather go to a committee. Now the committee, how do you work? Like, do they date it with carbon? Do they look at the style of art? How is it determined, the era?
Every artifact has a sign and have a feature for the art in this time. So you can say that this is the temple, this is temple. It's not from Greek Roman, because it's the hieroglyphic. It was written by this thing. So in this time, you have the signs for this dating. So you can say from the artifact itself. You can see from the cartouche, from the cartouche of the written of the king. You can know from the king's name which period it's belonged to. So the feature of the artifacts or the king's name on the cartouche, we can know the period of this artifact.
Yeah. Well, we will be back, but first let's have a look at a report from the Grand Egyptian Museum. I have to, all right, and then we will be wrapping this segment. I'd have to thank you very much, Mrs. Mostafa, the database director at the Egyptian Museum of Antiquities, and let's enjoy together Basma Taha and her report from the Grand Egyptian Museum.
You're welcome.